Hello guys! So today we are going to do a very simple makeup. I would say it's my signature makeup. It's something that I do every day when I go to work. It's practically something very diffused, very blended, and I think it's something that you could wear everywhere, every day. Now I'm going to start with applying the foundation. I have already prepped my skin. I have applied some creams, some sunscreen. So the reason I'm doing this is because I usually don't use very dark eyeshadows, but normally when I do makeup on a client, I always start with the eyes because I don't want to have fallouts on the cheeks of the client and I have to redo the foundation. But if you want, you can definitely do it like me or start with the eyes. It's your choice. So let's get started. In this period I use the Lauder Nude foundation. I use it in the color Desert Beige 2-in-1. So I have dampened my sponge. I normally use a sponge or a brush. And because this is not a very, it doesn't have like a lot of power to cover. It's a very watery foundation, I would say. I apply it first with kind of wiping motions and then I do tapping motions because I feel like it has a better covering effect when I do it like that. And also if I have sunscreen on my face, I don't really want to move the sunscreen because the cream that I'm using, when I move it, it makes kind of small freckles, I think they are called. I don't know how they are called, but it moves the cream underneath and I hate it. And I apply it all over my face, dragging it underneath my jawline, but I don't really put it on my neck because I hate having foundation on my neck. Right, so that's the foundation part. Then I use concealer. I'm using for MAC all-time favorite, the color NC20, and I take it a little bit with my fingers, putting it underneath my eyes. And I don't like to use too much, although what I've put now it's a lot, but usually I take it off with the sponge. So I'm taking whatever I have left on my sponge on my lid, and with tapping motions, not very hard, I make sure that I put all over a bit of concealer. And once I have everything nice and clean, I go to the powder. So I'm using the Mercier powder. I'm going to powder the cheeks. And I apply it through tapping motions and not wiping motions because I feel like it takes some foundation away if I apply it with wiping motions. And I usually put a little bit more powder on my nose, just because my nose eats powder. So the next step is to apply eyeshadow, and I usually use very light colors during the day. I like to use sparkly eyeshadows, at least on half of my lid, and matte shadows on the crease. So usually I take a blending brush. This is a pretty big one from Real Techniques. I'm using the Jacklyn Hair Palette. I ordered it last year, I think, and I was super happy when I received it because I really like products that are invented by makeup artists, by YouTubers, and I really think that they've done a wonderful job with the palette. Right, so I'm going to use this color and put it in my crease and a bit above my crease. And I take the eyeshadow underneath the beginning of my eyebrows as well, because I like to do a bit of contouring on my nose, although it's super small, but I like to do a little bit when I have the time, of course. If I don't have the time, then the eyeshadow stays up until here, I would say. The next step is to take another brush, which is a bit smaller, but still a blending brush. And this one is one from Sigma, Tapered blending brush, E35. And this time I'm going to take the eyeshadow that is a bit darker and place it a bit lower. Very well blended. Good. Now the next thing is to apply something that it's a bit darker than what we have applied to now. And I'm going to use this color with a brush that has a tapered tip. And this time I'm going to apply eyeshadow here in the corner of my eye. And taking it a little bit into the crease. Okay, and now I'm taking it underneath my eye as well. Just like so. And sometimes I like to drag a little bit the eyeshadow towards my temples, but like very, very lightly with something that's left on my second brush that I used. So the next step is to apply a shiny eyeshadow. I'm going to apply this eyeshadow. It's a rosy pearly one, and I'm going to apply it with my finger because I feel like these eyeshadows are very, very creamy and they work very well with the finger. And I'm going to apply it on the center of my lid, up to the crease. And now I take a brush just because I want to make sure that everything is blended, and I'm going to use a very old blush from Essence. It's like a tiny, tiny brush. Look how tiny it is, very tiny. And I'm taking a little bit of the same eyeshadow, tapping the excess off and making sure that I have it all over the lid. And if I feel like the color difference is too big between the two of them, I usually put something in between. And I'm going to use this eyeshadow and place it right where the two eyeshadows meet. And this makes everything seem nicer and more blended. Premium. Yes, I think now it's better because you can see the color is a bit more real. Right, and now to finish off with the eyeshadows, I'm going to use the same sparkly one that I used first underneath my eyes. And drag it almost to the center of the lid. And now I'm going to take the second sparkly shadow that I used, and I'm going to place that right in the middle as well. And now for just a bit of highlight underneath my eyebrow, I'm going to take a similar flat brush, a very old one. If you can see that this is kind of broken. And I'm taking a very light eyeshadow, placing it right underneath my eyebrow. Like this. I'm not taking it all over underneath my eyebrow because I don't like it. I just like to have a bit of sparkle And then I'm blending it with one of the brushes that I used before. And I'm trying to blend it so that it's not very, very shiny. During the day, I think that everything that's too shiny is too much. And after that, I do my bronzing. And I use the butter bronzer from Physicians Formula, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it's from Physician Formula. And I like it that it's actually very buttery. And I use this kind of brush. That's what I use. And I usually take it from my ear towards, not my mouth, a little bit up. And then I make sure that I blend it very, very well. And then I put a little bit on my forehead as well. And then on the other cheek as well. And I put a little bit what I have left on my brush, I put it underneath my chin as well, to create the impression that it's a bit shorter. And then I use a bit of blush on my cheeks, and I'm going to take Springsheen from MAC, and I'm going to apply it with a brush from Zoeva Luxe Sheer Cheek, this one, and take just a little bit. I don't like to have too much blush on my face, so I always tap off the excess, and then I put it in the middle of my face, and I take it upwards towards my temples. And because it's daytime, again, I don't use too much. This would be enough. And then I take a little bit more, tap off the excess, and put it on my other cheek. And I like it because it has a little bit of shine already. So if I don't feel like to, I don't use a highlighter on top of it. And I'm done with the dress. Okay, so next is highlight, and it's called Goddess of Love. It's a triple baked highlighter, and it comes in a shape of a heart, which I think it's really, really nice. And I take just a little bit on it, and then I put it on my hand because I don't want it to be too much. And then I put it just a little bit here on the highest point of my cheek. The same on the other cheek, on my nose, between my eyes. And the last step is mascara, of course. And for this one, I usually like to curl my lashes a little bit, otherwise I lose a lot from their length. And I'm using the Shu Uemura. I'm so lucky that I received this curler from my sister, and she traveled to Japan last year, and I begged her to buy this one for me, and when she came home she gave it to me together with a lot of Japanese face creams and sunscreens, and this is it's really good. I didn't think that it is. I saw everyone speaking highly of it, but it's actually really good. And for mascara, I'm using Voluminuous Lash Paradise from L'Oreal. It's a very good mascara. And I taupe the lashes. And this mascara gives me lashes. See? And then on the bottom lashes, I always put mascara there as well, otherwise it makes my face look even longer than it is. So I like to, well, keep it balanced. And now the last thing remaining are the lips. You need to find out that I don't really wear lipstick that much. I wear lip glosses just because I have very tiny lips and I feel like lipstick makes them even smaller or shows that they are small anyway. So I'm going to apply a lip gloss, not a lipstick. And I have one from, this is a MaxFactor one, but I use only the lip gloss on myself. I bought it for that. Okay, and then I just put it on my lips. And sometimes if I feel like I want to wear something that resembles lipstick, I put some lip liner over the gloss or before the gloss, it depends. But now I have applied the gloss, so it's going to be over. And now I'm using a lip liner from NYX. It's called Cabo. So I'm lining the lips. And then it becomes something that I'd call wearable for my lips. And I don't really like to overline them too much because I feel like it shows and I don't like it. This is a very summery lipstick, which I think works very well with this eye look. And at the end, sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't, at least for daily use, not really. But when I want to go to a party or I just want to, I know that during the evening I will go somewhere after work, I use the Prep and Prime Fix Setting Spray from MAC, and this is in the travel size that has a watermelon smell. It smells so good. This was it. This is the look. I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! No. I don't know. And it's really good. And now the last thing. I used the and this is in the travel size with the watermelon aroma. And I use this one that has a watermelon smell. Okay. And thank you very much for watching, and I encourage you to